Welcome back to our Criss YouTube channel. In today's class, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful crisscross overlap bubu that we see here. It's a full length crisscross, as you can see, and it's very simple to make. I used a satin silk fabric for this, but you can also use organdy fabrics, any bouncy fabric that you have. You can use both plain and floral. It's a very simple tutorial and it's beginner friendly. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. Okay, so this is like a kimono bubu. It's a crisscross kimono. So I'm going to be using this fabric for mine, and then I'm going to be explaining. It's going to be a long one. Okay, I have a short version on the channel, and I've been asked questions around how you can extend the length. So this is going to be a full length. So because of that, I'm going to draft it on the paper before moving it to the fabric, because it's going to be quite big. So you will need your full length measurement. For me, it's a floor length, so that's going to be around 60 inches, which is the length of my fabric. So I'm going to maintain the length of my fabric as my full length of my dress as well. So this is just 24.5. We'll just assume this is 60 inches. And then for the width, okay, you will need your shoulder measurement plus your full sleeve length. It can be on your elbow or on your full sleeve. I want mine on the full sleeve, so for me that is about 30 inches. Or you can just measure from your neckline area all the way to wherever the length is going to stop. So for me that's 30 inches. Again, I'm going to just assume this to be my 30 inches. Okay, so this is the space we are working with. So we're going to be drafting the back first. We're going to use the back to cut the front. So here I'm going to take my neck measurement, which is 3 inches, and then from there I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Okay, and you're going to take your curved ruler, and then you're going to connect that for your neckline. You don't need so much measurement. It's a very big kaftan. So after that, the next measurement I'm going to take is to come over here. You can take a shoulder slope here and connect, but I'm not going to be doing any shoulder slope to this. It's a free bubu. So I'll just come here now and mark my sleeve opening, depending on how big you want the sleeve opening to be. Usually from 10 to 15 inches is okay. So let's say I'm working with maybe 10 or 11 inches here. So this is going to be my sleeve opening. It's a big bubu, like I said, so I don't need all those hip measurement, waist measurement. I don't need all of that. What I'm going to just use is from where this stops, I'm just going to come in by 1 inch or 2 inches, okay, like this. And then that measurement, I'm going to take it all the way to the hem. So I'll just need this to hem in my, you may not even come as big as this if you want the sleeve to be on the same length with the side seam. So all you just need to do is to come in by maybe 1 inch so that you can fold in your sleeve, and then you're going to take the rest all the way to the hem. Make sure to through this part. Okay, it is that simple. So that is all I need to do for the back. I'm going to grab my scissors now, cut this out, and then we use this to cut the front. Okay, so I have cut it. As you can see, I cut out the neckline as well as the side seam. So the next thing you need to do now is to bring in your front. So for the front now, you will need the same length. The length is going to be the same, but it's a crisscross bubu, so it's going to have like an overlap in front. So for that, you will need your overlap allowance as well. That means in addition to the 30 inches width, and remember that for the back, the 30 inches has to be on fold, because this is going to be cut on fold. So it means when you open it up, you have 60 inches by 60 inches. I hope you understand that this part for the back has to be cut on fold, but for the front, you have 2 separate pieces for the front. So now after placing your fabric like this, I'm going to place my pattern, my fabric. If you are cutting directly on your fabric, you place it on this one as well. The side is going to remain the same. Okay, the only difference you are going to have is going to be at the center. So I want to tape down the pattern. I'm going to tape it down so that it does not shift. Okay, so I have gone ahead to tape it down. You can see this is the back and this is the front. So I have the extension in front, and I'm going to explain how you can get the measurement for your extension now. So I've turned it like this so that you can see. So this is the length, this is the neckline, and this is where the back stops. So now what you will need for your extension is the length of your dress, of your bubu. In this case, I'm working with an extension of with a length of 60 inches. Okay, so you can use an extension from where this stops, from where this bubu stops. You will need to extend this by 60 inches. Okay, but if you don't have enough fabric, you can use between 50 to 60 inches so that it can be full. So what you just need to do is to come here, the length that you used here, you're going to use it as your extension. So that is going to take a lot of fabric. That was why I said around 6 to 7 yards of fabric if you want it to be full. And that is why it is advisable not to use fabric that are too heavy, because of all of the fabric that you are going to be needing to make this bubu. So after that, you're going to mark the length again. So this length is 60 inches. So you're going to get the midpoint of that length. For me, that's going to be 30 inches. So you just fold your tape into two and get the midpoint. So this is where the midpoint is. So that midpoint, I'm going to take it all around the allowance. Okay. And then I'm going to make it into a straight line first. I hope you understand how I got this allowance now. For the length of the allowance, which is from here to here, you use half of your length, half of your actual length, which in this case is 60 inches divided by 2 is 30. So from here to here is going to be 30. And then for the width of the allowance, you're going to use the length again. So from here to here, from where the back stops, which is here, you can see this is where our back stops. So from here, you're going to measure your length all around like that. So that is what you will need. So this is my allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to adjust the neckline. Remember, for the front neckline, for the back neckline, we used 3 inches by 1 inch. So I'm maintaining the same neck width for the front as well. That's why I'm making a mark there. But for my back, I'm going to come for my depth, sorry, I'm going to come from the upper part here and then mark around 7 inches, which is here. So I'm going to raise the back and then make it into a diagonal line, sort of give me a form of like a V-shaped neckline. Okay, so once you have that, the next thing now is to connect from your allowance. Remember, this is not supposed to be as small as this is because it's a miniature. So from here now, I'm going to blend this to whatever it is that I have coming from the allowance, just like that. So after blending, all you just need to do is to grab your scissors and then you're going to cut out this shape. So for the front, you have two of these. Okay, you will see it now when we move to the fabric. For the front, you cut out two of these, and then for the back, you're just going to simply cut on fold so that you have one single piece. So I'll go ahead now and transfer this on my fabric. So this is what it looks like on the fabric now. I decided to use a plain fabric for the back so that you can see the difference very well, because I used to get a lot of question on this. So this is my back with the plain and this is the front with the floral fabric. So just like I explained, you can see the back. What you just need to do after marking your width, which is 30 inches, from here to here is 30 inches, you are going to take your neckline. You can see this is my neck measurement, 3 inches by 1 inch. And then here I came down by 12 inches for the sleeve, and from here I just came in by 1 inch. You can see it's very little, and then I take it all the way to the length, and you remember that your length is 60 inches. That's your full length. So that that measurement that you have for the back, you're just going to fold your fabric into two. Okay, this is folded into two. We have two for the front, and then you place your back on your front just like this. The side is going to remain the same, the shoulder is going to remain the same. The difference is going to be on the neckline. My fabric is very shaky, so it's shaking. That's why I cannot really touch it. So here, your width, your neck width is going to remain the same, but for the neck depth, I came down by 7 inches and then I connected just like I showed on the paper. And then here on the overlap area, remember my full length is 60 inches, so divided by 2 is 30. You can see this is 30 inches, and that is where I have my collar. So this here is going to be your collar, because the collar is going to be on the neckline area. So instead of 30 inches here, you can decide to divide it by 3 and use maybe 20 inches. So you just come up here by 20 inches, but I'm going to be dividing by 2 and I will see what that is going to give me. So now from here, once you have your extension for the twist, you are going to connect that from here all the way to your neckline. You can see to the neckline, just like I explained. You can see that this is very, very big. So that is what I have here. So the next thing now is to go ahead to sew it. So to sew it is very simple as well. I'm going to be detaching the front and back, so that I'm going to place them on each other. So once you place it on each other, we're going to join it on the shoulder area here. We're going to hem our sleeve and then join it on this side as well. I'm going to try to detach it so that you see, but I just want to explain what I'm going to do. You're going to lay your back. Remember, this back is still on fold. See, it's on fold. So I'm going to remove all these pins that we used to hold this and then lay it. Then after laying the back, I'm going to lay the front on it as well. And then on this shoulder area here, I'm going to join the shoulder. I'm going to hem the sleeve, and then from here I'm going to join to the lower part. So after that, I'm going to show you how to clean up the hem and this overlap area. Okay, so you can see I've gone ahead to sew it on the shoulder. This is the shoulder. That's the shoulder for the second one as well. And then I sew it by this side. You can clearly see the front and back. The front is plain, while the back is plain, while the front has floral. So you sew it on the two sides, and then I went ahead to hem it. So this is what I was explaining. You can see that the sleeve and the side seam are almost on the same level. That's why I said you should just go in by 1 inch, enough for you to hem your sleeve, and then you just sew in your side. So this is what we have now, and all of these are the allowance that we have. Okay, these are the two allowance for the two sides of both front and back. So now for this allowance, remember it's a cross bubu. So this is where you're going to be crossing it. So we have it separately like this. This is the first side of the front, this is the second side of the front, and that's the back. So now you take your overlap like this. By the way, I've gone ahead to hem it all around. Okay, you can either hem or weave it, but this fabric frays a lot, the weaving may remove. That was why I decided to hem it. So I hemmed everything all around. So now you take it, they are still separate like this. So what you just need to do is to take one like this, and then the other is going to be like this. So you can see it's like you have crossed it. It was formerly like this. So now we are going to be crossing the two. So after crossing it, you are going to take it right side facing right side like this, and then you are going to go ahead and join it. So this is going to be your center back for the collar. I hope you understand what I did. It was formerly separate like this. So because it's a crisscross, we are going to be crossing it just like this. So I have crossed the two. So after crossing it, I'm going to take it against each other. That's the hem of the collar. That place where you have your 30 inches, that's what I'm matching to each other, against each other like this, right side facing right side. And then you go ahead and sew it there. So after sewing it there, the seam line that you have here, that you are going to have after sewing, is going to be your center back. So I'm going to mark that to my center back. So I'll sew it now and bring it back to show us what we have. So you can see now that I have gone ahead to join it. I join it by 1/2 inch, and like I said, this is going to be on my neckline. So this is what it looks like. Now you are going to fold it over into two, excuse me, like that. So I'm going to fold it over into two, and you can see that after folding it, they are still separate like this. So after folding it over into two like this, what you just need to do is to twist it. Okay, it's folded like this. You can see that it is still separate. So after folding, I'm going to twist it like this and then take this to the neckline. Okay, so now I'm going to take this center. Remember I said where I sew it is going to be on my center back. So this center here, I have already notched my center back. So this is, you can see this chalk is where my center back is. Okay, this is the neckline of the back. So you just notch it. So now to sew it to the back, you need it to be concealed. You don't want to sew like this, because if you sew like this, the raw edges are going to show. So what you just need to do, the way it's supposed to be, You are going to fold it inward, fold this one inward, then fold the collar as well inward. Then you look for a way to get your hand there, and then you are going to pin it. So now you can see I've exposed that. So now I'm going to go ahead and hold them together like this. Cut off your threads. Let me try to cut this off. Okay, so you open your seam. Just watch it carefully. You can also watch the short tutorial that I have on it. I have made a short version of this. It's still the same thing. So now you're going to match it to the center back, and then you're going to pin. Okay, so once you do this, the job is done. So once you have pinned one side, so this pin that you have done here is what you are going to follow. So you just need to take the two collars together, and then you start pinning towards your center front. Okay, you pin from your center back to your center front till you can no longer pin it, till where you get to a point where you can no longer pin. So where you have pinned is where we are going to sew. Okay, I have done for this side, so that is how I'm going to continue. Let me just show you this side as well. So for this side, I'm going to take the two collar like this. Remember, we folded them, and then I'm going to take my neckline together with it, and then I'll start pinning. So you have three like that. So I'll pin that towards the center front as well. You take your two collars together, and then you come here and pin with your main bodies. So you keep pinning this as well to where you can no longer pin. So you get to where you can no longer pin. So that is all you need to do. You make sure you take these two collars together. They have to be together like this, and then you pin the center front with it, which is going to make it three. So after pinning all around, pinning is going to make you know where to sew. So it's not going to stress you when you get to the sewing machine. So you just go ahead now and run a stitch on where you pin, and your boo is ready. So I've gone ahead to sew it just like I explained, and then I sew each of the sides up to where I could not sew. You can see up to where I could not sew again. So that's for the first side. For the second side as well, you make sure that it is three. 1, 2, 3. You take the two collars together, and then you take your bodies as well, and then you sew this all the way to where the knot is. You will see where you will not be able to sew it again. So this is what it looks like now. Okay, so this is all my collar. So like I said, you can see the seam line is no longer on the right side. This is the right side of our fabric. You can see that it is neat on the right side. You don't have your seam line there, and the collar is just going to fold over like this. So if you don't want your collar this long, you can reduce the 30 inches, but this is what 30 inches gave me. So I'll take it to the mannequin now so that we can see what it looks like. So this is what we have on the mannequin. You can see the overlap. These are the areas that I went ahead to sew. Okay, like I said, this fabric is a silk fabric. It's heavy and it's very, very slippery. So you can use fabrics like organdy so that it can give you something that's puffy. So it will just lap on each other. It's going to overlap on each other like this. And then if you look at the side, like I was saying, I hemmed my sleeve, and you will notice that the side seam and the sleeve are almost on the same level. Okay, so you're going to iron it. I use crepe for the back part, and I use silk for the front part. So please use same fabric for yours, but I want it to be really different. That was why I used a different fabric like that. And then if you come to the hem, you will see that the hem is going to give you like a free effect as well if your twist is gotten correctly. So it's very simple to make. You just need to watch it. I have like 2 other videos on this, so if you get confused, maybe because this is big, you can just go back to watch the crisscross part on the other videos as well, and I'm sure you are going to get it. Though this is what the collar area look like. Okay, this is what 30 inches of collar gave me, and I think I like it. But if you don't want your collar to be this full, you can just reduce it to maybe 20 inches and it may work. But the thing to get your collar is what I have explained. You just need to mark your full length and then divide that by 2. That is what you are supposed to use to get your collar length. So another thing you can do, especially if your fabric is slippery and it's not staying in place, after sewing the bubu, after sewing everything, your crisscross, so once you have it on your mannequin and you are happy with what you have, you can just find a way to neatly tack at some strategic points so that it can stay in place easily for you. So this is what we have now. You can see how cute this is looking and how beautiful it is. I hope you enjoy making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.